the opportunity to speak to and engage with the vibrant and generous Pakistani community in Washington and its outskirts. Assalamu alaikum. I wanted to say that there's a friend of mine here who invited me very recently to this function, and I was very keen to come here. I was glad to be amongst Pakistani Americans who have made a name for themselves, who are leaders in their community, but most of all have invested in Pakistan's future by supporting causes from the country that they have not left behind but moved from to this country of allegiance. So I'm very happy to be here tonight because I think it's extremely important for an embassy to reach out to the Pakistani American community. It's critically important for us to worry about whatever challenges you face here. And I have to say that it's been a very difficult time between Pakistan and the United States since I have joined, but I'm happy to report that things are improving. We are settling down to what is known as the new normal, and there is actually some time for me to come out and be with you instead of spending the evening sending out telegrams. So it's been a tough year, but as the host who announced me said, what do you wake up to every morning? You wake up to hope and optimism. Otherwise, she forgot to say that I've been a politician for 10 years. Journalists have a very easy life. I've been a journalist for 20 years and a politician for 10, and I'm dating myself as I speak. I'm happy to say at the age of 51, this is not a job I ever expected, but it's a job that I had to step up on my place and stand with everything. So what brings a politician, a sincere, committed politician who believes in public service and who's not there to just making sure their voice is heard? You can't really be in public service if you don't wake up in the morning and invest in hope and look towards the future, especially when you face adversity. And that's really the mark that distinguishes a person from the other. It is in the face of challenges and adversity that we must show grace. So thank you all for having me here. I wasn't planning to speak very long, ladies and gentlemen, because I have in Pakistan, I was telling my friends, been chair of a very large charity-based organization. It's called the Lady Dufferin, and all my friends on that. It's the largest hospital and medical facility for women and children all over Pakistan. It's 100 years old, and we are proud to say it continues to deliver. But I also want to say that SOS Pakistan is one of the charities, one of the organizations that do exceptional service for the young and the orphan and the abandoned future of our country. Those are our children. And I have been very closely involved with the committee there as well. My namesake ran SOS Karachi for a long time, Shehbano. And then we have a lot of people who doubled up on our committees. And as I saw here tonight, I was told by one of the committee members for this wonderful function that it's the women who do all the work and the gentlemen show up with their checkbooks at the fundraiser. So I hope you're going to make your checkbooks lighter tonight and acknowledge the fact that it's always the same committee, the same community that does the heavy lifting for everybody, and so we must appreciate them. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the names that I have been told. I hope I haven't missed anyone, but you must forgive me if I do. It's Rehman, and I wish to thank her. Tahir Chaudhary, Tazeen Hashmi, Satya Naz, Sheila Kaur, and my friend Shaisa Mahmood, who made sure I got here. So thank you again for organizing such for investing in your community, investing in Pakistan, in its future, and for organizing events that not just bring us together, but give us an occasion to bring a critical mass of Pakistanis and bring hope and talk about our future. And I think we're going to be talking about extending a helping hand. I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, there is always worry about Pakistan and there is anxiety about its future. I think that's a very legitimate sentiment because until you are involved with that country, you will not worry about it. So we always take very well all the questions and the hopes and the fears that you as Pakistani Americans may raise, and we recognize that as leaders of this community, you have come very far, you have made a name for yourself, many of you are involved in mainstream public service, and as your embassy, I would ask very strongly to please be more involved. As we just closed a successful election in the United States, and I congratulate all those who are involved in fundraising and contributing to the campaigns here. I think that's an excellent way of going forward. That is very important if, as Pakistani Americans, you have not only need to make your name felt and known, but your presence and identity as a community register in the public mainstream in the United States. The more, thank you, the more all of you come out and pick up the causes, they may be local causes that are important to you, and protect your services, negotiate your identities in a difficult, competing, it's a tough environment to compete in, but there is as much of a level playing field as can be seen. You will seek more, of course, that no society is perfect, as we know, but certainly the Pakistani Americans here are a community that is prosperous, that is entrepreneurial, that is professional. We are not a community here that does not have stakes in a prosperous future, both in Pakistan and the United States. And I want to say from the government of Pakistan that we are grateful for the interest and resource that you bring back to Pakistan. One of the resources that you commit is your time. Time is, of course, the new money. And you commit more than that. You commit your resources, you, as I say, bring your checkbook to charitable causes in Pakistan, to education, to health, to providing opportunities. And SOS certainly ensures that the children of Pakistan are provided opportunities that they otherwise wouldn't have, certainly as orphans. And by giving them access to an education, to health services, and by giving them access to a future, you are investing in the, more than 60% of the population that is under 30 years old. And so you are building Pakistan's demographic challenge into a demographic dividend. And we thank you for that. We also have cause to thank you for always remembering your roots. It's wonderful always for me when I tour the country and contact the community and get in touch and go to functions such as this, that there's always time and sentiment and deep emotion for your Pakistani national anthem. I recognize that you have owed allegiance to the country that you have come to with great hope, but you have not forgotten the country of your origin, and we recognize and appreciate the sentiment, the warmth, and the commitment that goes into this kind of exhibition of public attention to Pakistan. We also recognize that you bring your remittances, which really are a backbone of our economy. And that is something that is not only increasingly getting public recognition, but must yield for more and more of a say in how things get done. You have concerns about governance, you have concerns about opportunities, you have concerns about transparency, accountability, and how public life is conducted in Pakistan. You must continue to have them, because, ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan is in the middle of a very fundamental, and I would even say fragile, transformation. It's a transformation as well as a very important transition. And why I call it a transition is, it's very rarely noticed amongst all the headlines of conflict and geopolitical shift, and a lot of the change is painful. We are in a neighborhood that is difficult, but we are the pivot for much that is also going right in the region. I take this opportunity to tell you that as long as we have girl students, girl children like the brave Malala Yousafzai, who has now become a brand name for a certain kind of courage, for a certain kind of resilience, she personifies hope. And as long as there are Malala Yousafzais and her colleagues who stand up to the daily challenge in areas that many people would fear to tread in, then we have to say, we have much to be proud of, and our work is not done. Until the girl children of Pakistan are protected, until they all have access to opportunity, to health, to education, to making their voices heard, to be able to negotiate their identities as they choose, not as their families choose for them, as they choose. Or their religion, or their sect, or anything else. Until the girl children, the minorities, the vulnerable of Pakistan, the bottom of the pyramid that we were speaking about at another conference the other day, until the bottom of the vulnerable pyramid has its opportunities, our work, yours and mine, and many others who are committed to this, is certainly not done. So we have a long way to go, but Pakistan is, amongst all the challenges, in the middle of a difficult, but I would still say, important constitutional and political transition. This is the first civilian government making a peaceful constitutional transfer of power in our entire history. You won't hear about this in the newspapers here. But this is happening. It is the foundation. It is not, we hope and believe, built in sand. It is a foundation that we are building very importantly. Very often, much else is not done, but it is the foundation. There are institutions being built that we hope that the media and other institutions such as the judiciary, very overactive, and so is the media. I see some friends sitting here. These are the checks and balances that are sprouting up in a very noisy, cacophonous democracy. Believe it or not, our society in Pakistan asks more questions of their government than what I see here. So Pakistanis are not a complacent people. They are not a people who are able to withstand a life lived in fear. They face onerous challenges every day of their lives with grace, dignity, and an amazing resilience, which now many people in the world are beginning to recognize and appreciate. I also noticed that sometimes people here feel a little shortchanged, they're anxious, and we understand that that anxiety is related to the love and concern one feels about one's country. Because I see everybody here wearing clothes that are from Pakistan. That is, clothes maketh the woman, certainly. I don't know if clothes are making the man. I look forward to a day when we're all wearing snazzy sherwanis. And when it becomes fashionable, it will become fashionable, but that is also a part of our identity, and we should be, and we are proud to carry it forward. So I want to just say thank you very much for being who you are, for leading the way in this land of opportunity, for educating your children, but for not letting them forget where they came from. And we hope that many of your children will also go back and give back to Pakistan. My daughter lives there. She has had many opportunities to live abroad, to move abroad. But we feel that it's important for the people of an education, with people who have access to resources. I won't pretend that I haven't had an access to resources. I've just spent college here in the United States. It's my job now to give back to my country. I am who I am because of Pakistan. And this is important. And we reach out and look to you for being that very important bridge between the two countries. It's all very well to have a proactive ambassador. We may have the best government in the world, we may have the best embassies, we may have the best outreach, the best foreign ministries, but there is no substitute for a community that is both engaged and involved in building bridges between our two great nations. Because it's not about governments only. Public opinion is made in the court of the people. And you are the people that can build that bridge and be that story, that good news story about Pakistan. Because wherever you go, you are an ambassador of Pakistan. You can be American today, but nobody forgets who you are. And you don't want to forget who you are. So your conduct, your enterprise, your commitment, how you even conduct business is noticed here and is carried back as a story to Pakistan. We hope today that we can bring to you any of the resource, the information that you need, and I think most diasporas really are looking for information. They're looking for linkages, they are looking for guarantees where they feel their resources can be plowed back into the country, which is why I notice many of you invest in important charities. There is 3 or 4 other foundations that are working in the United States for Pakistan. We appreciate their services. We look forward to working with them, and I want to assure you that the doors of the embassy, both virtual and physical, are open to all of you to facilitate your lives. And also lastly, I want to take this opportunity to thank the community in New York and New Jersey for the heavy lift that they did in the recent hurricane that afflicted this part of the United States, the East Coast. While as an embassy we set up helplines and did what we can to bring people together with government services that are missing at this, or the gaps needed, it is really the community in these areas that has reached out and helped those and extended that helping hand to people that are less privileged. And there are many stories I can tell you about Pakistan, about investment opportunities. We had a fantastic conference in London where many American companies and Pakistanis reached out. We just had one on microfinance the other day. Many good news stories about the women of Pakistan, the social safety net, the election commission that is impartial now, and the institutions we are building. But I think this is not the occasion for that. I do not want to stand in the way of your entertainment. I also have to be somewhere less important tonight. But I want to thank you and hope to see you again at the embassy or at the residence. Thank you very much.